Duffield from mattduffieldtrading.com, and tonight I'm going to look at AXPW and symbol CANF just like I did on Thursday night. I know there were other hot penny stocks on Friday, but again, these two were the ones I was watching and trading, so that's what I'm taking a look at here. And before I get started, I do want to remind you the video is for informational and educational purposes only, and it should not be misconstrued as trading advice. I'm not a registered investment advisor, so please do make your own trading decisions. Okay, so AXPW, this stock is becoming less hot by the day. Most traders have been waiting on a news announcement of a contract, and the deadline was September 13th. And every day that passed last week, you know, message boards and traders were just all over this thing saying, oh, it's coming out after hours, it's going to be pre-market, and it just never came. And unfortunately, like I said, the stock is just getting less hot because of that. It's kind of dying off. On Thursday night's video, I did mention that AXPW should spike up to 310 or 320 level, and it did get a brief pop in the morning here after opening down. Where did it open at? 278, kind of traded lightly in here in the 270 range, and then popped up to 310, sure enough. Or actually 311 for the high at 959. And then from that point on, it just faded back down into the 280 range. I was watching this whole time. I didn't feel like this rally was very convincing, so I didn't buy into it, and it happened within minutes, so I would have missed it anyway. But right around in here, around noon, I saw a pattern, just, you know, from studying charts over the years, that I felt this was going to pop, and I even had a time frame. I thought it would break out around 1240. I did alert that on Twitter, and sure enough, it wasn't 1240. It was about 1228. Price broke above the 290 level, and it spiked to just over $3, and that was a failed breakout as well, unfortunately. And I bought into this. I think it was at about two. I got some at 290 and some at 294, and when this rally faded, I sold on this dip just below 280. Or actually, I think my sell went off at 280. It's a failed breakout. That's going to happen. I took a small loss, wasn't too upset about it, and then from then on, price just faded the rest of the day. And like I said, the chart isn't broken by any means, but I'm not going to pay a whole lot of attention to this unless it gets back above $3, because it could easily trade sideways from here until there's news. And it is sitting at good support. So, I mean, you know, it's up to you how you want to play this. I tend to trade very short term, so I don't want to buy into something that's going to take days to pan out. Or in this case, it might just fade. So my buy trigger will be on a breakout above $3, probably even 310 at this point. I want to see a break over Friday's high. And CANF was a huge play of the day on Friday, just like it was on Thursday. And I definitely regret buying into AXPW around 1230. I should have been buying into CANF. As you can see, this thing just took off at 11. Went from $4 a share almost to $8. Huge super spike. And, oh, I hate to say it, but I almost bought right in here in the 430 range right before that breakout. And as it started to break out to 440s, 450s, I was like, I missed it. Too late. Even though I thought it was going to fill the gap to $5. I had mentioned that in Thursday night's video. If you look here on the daily chart, there's a huge gap up here to $5 right in there. And price did fill that gap, as you can see here, and it traded near the $5 level for, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, and then just soared higher again. I just missed that whole thing. I kept it, you know, just expecting that this rally is going to fade, it's going to die off. I totally underestimated this thing. I did the same thing on Thursday. So then, after tagging $7.85 for the high, price plummeted pretty strongly down to the $6 range. It found support and bounced around between $6 and $6.50 for most of the afternoon. And I thought this afternoon trading really resembled what I saw in the morning. I thought if it could break above 625, it was going to take off. short story here. When it did break above 625, I bought in pretty heavily with over 2,000 shares. Not heavily, but heavy enough with over 2,000 shares. And it started to take off, but I could tell the rally was weak. I wanted to sell up here around 660, 670. And guys, I really broke a rule. I traded on unsettled funds. The funds that I use to trade don't settle until Monday. So big lesson here. Once again, I've done this in the past, and I learned, or I need to learn from it. I need to stick to intraday trading. That is my bread and butter. When you start trading with unsettled funds, you get stuck in positions. I would have gotten out here at 660 because the breakout appeared weak. And it was at that time I noticed there's a bear flag set up here on the 5-minute chart. I can I'll draw this in the best I can with this little trend tool that Scottrade has. Something like that. You get the picture. That's a bear flag. Unfortunately, my hands were tied. I could not sell. So I'm stuck in this thing, holding over the weekend. Obviously, if I would have sold, I would have got a trade violation. I try to avoid that. It can just cause 90 days of trouble. So anyway, price plunged in the final 45 minutes of trading, and it got halted. I want to say, let me go to the 1-minute chart. Right here. Got halted at 543, and I posted a tweet on Twitter because I knew there was a bear flag and the price target measured to about 470, 480 range. So I posted, hey, this after the halt, this will likely move lower to 480. Look what happened. The next minute, or not that, well, I mean, there was only 1 minute of trading after the 5-minute halt, and this hit a low of 483, bounced a little bit, continued lower. It closed at 475. The good news is on a technical basis, this bear flag pattern has pretty much reached its price target. And then in after hours trading, it went on to close at 525. So this thing is all over the map. So today, there was a news release of a share offering, and it doesn't appear to be devastating by any means. I still think this stock has great potential. If they're offering, or I mean, if they got FDA approval, fast track status, the current market cap is 50 million, and they, I don't know, I didn't go through all the numbers, but I saw a $9 million offering. That's not huge, and the prices are at, I think it was $4.35, and warrants at $5.25. So that's right within a range of where Friday's close was. What worries me a little bit is, I try to stick to technicals. The next support level is down here at 430. So without that news, I would expect this to overshoot down to the 430 range. Whether it does or doesn't, or moves higher on Monday, obviously there's a lot of resistance at $6 now. So like I said, I don't think the news is bad. I think this has a lot of potential. A $50 million market cap. I mean, this thing could easily have a $100 million market cap and be trading at $8. I know a big concern of many traders and investors was that the company has very little cash. So you have to or understand that this offering could be viewed positively as well. The company needed cash, and they're getting it at decent prices compared to a week ago. But you never know how the market's going to handle that on day one after the news. So I'm saying more of like a couple days, couple weeks, medium-term perspective. I don't think that news is all that bad. But tomorrow, like I said, you don't know. This could easily gap lower in pre-market to 430, or it could be back up here around $6. I mean, I think those are the most likely targets. And of course, it could open around Friday's close as well. I'm not really expecting anything outside of those bounds. Anything below 4, anything above 6, but who knows? I've seen crazier things. And again, who knows what will come on Monday morning if there's more news. So for me, I hate that I'm stuck in this. I made a bad decision to trade with unsettled funds. And if I can get out tomorrow around $5, I'm going to be happy to do that. It's going to be a nice 20% loss. But sometimes that's the name of the game. I don't want to play the game of well, this is a good company and we'll see where things go. I'll just wait on it. I don't like to do that. But what I will do is see how this thing trades in pre-market and what kind of strength it has in the first 30 minutes of trading. But most likely I'll be looking to cut my loss. It's most likely going to be a loss. And I'll do that pretty early on. Out on the daily chart, if I can get this thing to load, there you go. This candle here, this daily candle, let me remove the trends. Not the best looking candle. It nearly opened and closed around the same price. I mean, within 10%, considering this thing had, 100% move. And then if you zoom out even more, 8 months here, it's already filled the gap. Let me go a little further. I'll show you something here. Actually, I was on the weekly chart. Got to go pretty far back on this thing. Let's go back 3 years. When it was above $6, it had cleared resistance here back from early 2014. That's another reason I felt confident buying in, because above 620, 630, this thing could really take off. I mean, it was all the way up here at 946. So now that it has filled this gap and it's now under a $5 resistance level and the $6 resistance level, it's sitting above support here at 4. It's kind of mid-range. Basically $1 below one resistance level and $1 above a support level. So I don't feel fantastic about this. I'm just going to try to get out and take what I can. I don't want to hold on to hope, even though this might turn into a huge winner. That's just not the way I trade. Let's see if I have anything else to offer here for you guys. Like I said, the bear flag target price has been met. That's the good news, but that was before the Sunday news announcement of the share offering. So tomorrow's going to be interesting. I do expect this thing to have a lot of volatility, and I'll be tweeting, my thoughts on where this could go. But I know we were making comparisons of it being an AQXP kind of move. Well, AQXP had this huge midday run, traded sideways in the afternoon, but it closed near its high. And in this case, you can see CANF sold off very hard. So I don't expect a 50% gap up like AQXP had. I'm just gonna try to get out of this thing, trade it safe, and look for more entries. And I wish everyone the best of luck tomorrow.